Hello, hi, and welcome. If you're new here, my name is Sarah, and this is Wicked Reading. So today's video is going to be very casual. I'm in my big baggy t-shirt, I'm in sweatpants, in my slippers, I'm cozy, I'm casual, I'm chillin', because today I am going to do kind of like October / just like a fall reset because I need it. I feel like my life has been really chaotic lately. I've let a lot of things get too far out of my grasp. My library is a bit of a mess. I need to organize my library. I need to just set myself up for success. I've fallen behind in my reading journal that I need to catch up on. My September was it just like went so fast. I did not accomplish nearly any of my September goals, or my September TBR was so bad. I have never done worse on a TBR, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to also be picking out my October TBR. I'm not going to be doing my bookmark game this month because, yeah, last month, September, was an absolute failure, if I'm being honest. So I am just going to kind of hone in on what I need to really do and focus on for the rest of the year because it's almost over. We have 3 months left in the year, which is absolutely crazy. So I really just want to reset my space, organize my life a little bit so then I can really kind of sit down, organize my thoughts, organize my priorities, know what I need to do for the rest of the year in my life, in my booktube life, all over the board. So I just need a reset moment. So we are being comfy, cozy, and just getting our life together today, okay? So to recap, because I feel like I just kind of spewed a lot of words at you guys, I'm going to organize my library. I am going to catch up on my reading journal and start setting up my October reading spread. I'm going to change my phone case, which is totally random but necessary. I am going to take pictures of books that I'm unhauling, and I will be sharing those books with you guys too. So we'll have a little bit of an unhaul moment in this vlog as well. And then I will be picking out my October TBR, pulling the books that I need to read for October. It's gonna be a little bit chaotic because I'm also kind of figuring out as I go because I don't really do reset vlogs very often. I think I've done it like one other time, but expect TBR, unhaul, journals, and organization, and we'll see what else I find. So let's just jump right in. Okay, so this stack of books are the books I'm unhauling, and I will be posting on my Pango. Actually, I'm missing a book because I have to post my special edition, my Fairy Loot special edition of When the Moon Hatched, which is downstairs, but that will be also posted on my Pango because I did not like that book. So I'll be posting Touch the Night by Max Booth III, volumes 1 through 8 of, here's the first volume, of the Ancient Magus' Bride manga series. I'm just not going to continue on because I don't really understand the direction that this series is trying to go in, so it's making me uncomfortable. So getting rid of those. This wasn't my last unhaul, and I talked myself out of unhauling it. I don't know why. I don't connect to this. I'm not religious, so I don't understand a lot of the symbolism of this story. But if you like medieval, apocalyptic, religious horror, good versus evil, here you go. I will be getting rid of Goddess of Filth by V. Castro. Love this cover. So sad I didn't really like this story. Stolen Tongues by Felix Blackwell. It started off so strong, but it went on too long and it ended up losing its creepy atmospheric vibe that it really did so well in the beginning. It lost it because it just kept going on and on and on, and I'm getting rid of that. Mayfly by CJ Lead. I wish I loved it the way everybody else does. It was fine. I just had a lot of issues with the progression of the story, the layout of the story, the way everything played out, where certain things were in the story, and there were just too many elements that I feel like a lot of the story was underdeveloped for me, in my personal opinion. I picked this up at a free little library, so I will actually not be posting this on Pango. I will just put it back in a free little library. I don't know why I picked it up. I'm not a thriller person. I'm not going to read it. So I'm going to be putting this in another free little library. The Lost Apothecary, Sarah Penner. I actually did really enjoy this when I read it. I read it in my early adult career of reading, and it's a fun historical type of story that I had a good time with, but I'm never going to reread it, and I didn't love it enough, and I read it so long ago at this point that I can't confidently recommend it for any particular reason, so I don't need the book anymore. So I'm going to get rid of this. The Cherished by Patricia Ward. I did not read this, but it has literally the worst reviews I've ever seen on a book, and I just have no desire to read it. So I'm just going to get rid of it. Bright Young Women, Jessica Knoll. I've talked about this before. This just doesn't need to exist. I'm really over partially fictionalizing and dramatizing true crime. It's not the move for me. It's done and over with. I'll be getting rid of my first editions of Belladonna and Foxglove, as in like my first editions. I don't know that these are actual first editions. Only because I love these books, but I got the UK versions of these books. But I did not realize how much I annotated Belladonna. Like, look at all those. So I don't know. I almost want to keep it because of how many things I have tabbed. I didn't write in the book. It's just like tabs, so I'd have to take them all out, but it looks so pretty because it's like all color coordinated. But yeah, I'm not going to keep it, so I'm going to get rid of those. I don't need multiple copies of this series. I don't love it that much, but I do enjoy it. Getting rid of Jaws by Peter Benchley. If you saw my review of it, this is literally no surprise at all. This was just like not good at all. I really did not like the story, except like the very opening scene. That was the only part of the book that I liked. So there's that. This makes me sad. I've been holding on to this for so long, but I need to do it. I need to just do it. Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. I did not like this. I did not like the sequel. I loved Ninth House. Did not like this. And it's stunning and it's gorgeous. This is actually a first edition. I don't know if they print it with these anymore. I'm sure they have other versions anyways at this point. And pages are stunning. I have 4 little itty bitty tabs in there that I will have to take out before I sell it. But I'm sad. I wish I loved this the way I loved Ninth House. I just didn't, and I truly have no desire to read the third one whenever that plans on coming out. So yeah, gonna get rid of this too. So all of those, plus my Fairy Loot special edition for When the Moon Hatched. I gotta take pictures of all of these, post them on Pango, so those will be there. And it'll be nice to get rid of these to clear out some of my space. So that'll feel very refreshing and very nice once I can get rid of some of these. For now, they will sit in a stack in the corner until further notice. I'm feeling really good. My library room is nice and clean. My space is organized. My reading journals are caught up. I already sold a couple books on my Pingo shop, so now I have to package those and get those sent out. But I'm definitely feeling very rejuvenated after that much needed reset. So now I can finally talk to you guys about the books that I plan to read for October. So my October TBR. I'm going to keep some of the books a secret, so I'm not going to tell you all of the books that I plan on reading, but I will kind of fill you in on some videos I have planned as well. But the first book that I will definitely be reading is The House on Moon Creek Avenue by E. Reyes. So this is actually the October Lights Out book club pick. Sav over at Riveting Reads hosts this book club, and I was super excited that she invited me to co-host for the October book, and this was the book that was picked. I'm super excited. It sounds really fun. It sounds like just a really good haunted house story. We follow a main character who leaves an abusive boyfriend, and after she inherits her, I believe, grandmother's old house, her and her daughter move in and stuff starts to go wrong, and our main character's mental state is pushed to the edge. I just really want to sink my teeth into a classic haunted house story. I really haven't read too many haunted house stories, but I feel like they are just such a good way to really get into the autumn, crispy, spooky season vibes where I'm at. Even though September's been fall for me in my head, it's still been 80, 85 degrees, so it's still been incredibly hot, and I'm hoping that by the time I'm reading this, it's nice and crisp outside, and it'll really have just great vibes all around. I'm excited to read this one. And thank you, Sav, for inviting me to join you for this book club. Oh, and if I didn't say, I forget if I said or not, but this one is available on Kindle Unlimited, so I will be reading it through that. Next up, a book I will definitely be reading is Brainworms by Allison Rumfitt. I will actually be reading this for my buggy read for my Patreon, my bug tier and up. We do a bunch of buggy reads, which are a version of buddy reads, but each month I pick one of the buggy reads to do a spoiler-filled reading vlog for. And for the month of October, I decided to go with Brainworms. I have read from Allison Rumfitt before, so I'm really excited to vlog my experience as I'm reading it, because knowing her writing, it's going to be very dark. I've heard it's very gross, so it'll be fun to get my reactions on camera and sharing it with them. So I'm really excited to get into this one. Another book I'm reading because of my Patreon is A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers. This is actually my book club pick for my top tier, the bunny tier. We do a bunny book club, and this was the book that won the poll for October. I'm really excited to get into this one too. I have heard kind of mixed things, but I feel like I'm gonna like it. I'm really craving a literary cannibalistic type of story. We follow a food critic in this story, but she has some other cravings that she wants to lean into. So I don't know too much other than that, but I can't wait to see what this story does. So moving on from my book club picks and my buggy reads, I have some additional books that I hope to read specifically for vlogs. I have a couple of vlog ideas I'm hoping to get to. So I do have two of the books that I plan for one vlog. I'm not going to tell you what the vlog is. Maybe you can guess it with these two books. There's a third book I'm hoping to get from the library, which will be a surprise. But the first two books I hope to feature in that vlog is one, Teleportism by Joshua McMillan. This is a novella in which I believe people have this like VHS tape that they pass around, and when they watch the tape, they get this huge sense of euphoria and ecstasy, and then they want to continue to watch it. And I think as they kind of continue to watch it, they kind of start to lose themselves and lose grip on reality. I think it just sounds like a really, really interesting, unique idea, and it kind of gives me Ring vibes with the VHS tape, but it also brings in this whole different element, and I'm really excited to see how those two combine and what the story does and how I feel about it. The second book I plan to read for that vlog is Nefando by Monica Ojeda. This is a translated work, and it is described as a techno horror. In the story, I think we follow a few different characters that are partaking in like this new video game, and I don't really know much more other than that. I think that the video game kind of starts to have effects on people, whether good, bad, I don't know. But knowing Monica Ojeda and her other works, I expect this to be quite bizarre, very literary horror, very weirdo, and I can't wait. I hope it is. I hope it's bizarre. I hope it feels like a fever dream. That's what I need out of this story, so I hope it gives that. So then, like I said, I do plan to read one more book for that themed vlog, so maybe you can guess what the theme is in the comments down below. Otherwise, I have another vlog that I plan on doing, and it's going to be where my patrons are choosing what I read for a week. I am already reading a book currently for that. For the second book that I read in that vlog, I'm going to pick it out of my Patreon TBR jar. Everybody who joins my Patreon gets to to tell me a book that they want me to read, and I put it in a jar, and I have yet to pick from this jar. So for the vlog, I will pick from this jar, but I'm not gonna pick it yet. You're gonna have to watch the vlog to see what I end up picking out of here. And then for the third book that I will read in that vlog, I will have my patrons pick a book from a poll, of which I have not created yet. I don't even know what books I'm going to put in it yet, but I will probably make it either a Kindle Unlimited book or a book from my physical TBR, and they'll pick which book I read out of that. So there's 2 other books that I don't even know yet what they will be that I will be reading, so there's that. But here's my physical books that I can confidently say I will be reading for October. As always, I will also probably listen to a bunch of audiobooks, of which I don't know what they will be yet because I do not have the foresight to think about audiobooks ahead of time. I'm at the will of the audiobook gods for the Libby holds, and I just kind of like pick them out as I go and see what's available on Spotify or other means of listening to audiobooks, so I never really plan those ones ahead. So I will be reading more books outside of what I've talked about today. But that is going to be everything for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me on my little reset adventure. Let me know what plans you're most excited for October or for fall. If you've made it this far and have nothing else to say but want to let me know you were here, leave me a worm emoji down below for brain worms. As always, thank you so much for spending some of your time with me while I sit down and talk about books. If you haven't yet, please give the video a like, subscribe for future content, turn on the bell notification, all the fun YouTube things that help your girl out, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!